Thank you, Mark. Yes, I hope you're able to enjoy all of this with us, whether it's finished in 90 minutes, whether we need extra time, whether we need penalties. But it's been quite a week, hasn't it? This is the second all-English European final of the week. Unprecedented that one country should provide all four teams in the two major finals. And the Tottenham and Liverpool players, having conducted the handshakes, are now posing for the team pictures. And it's actually more than the team pictures, Chris. They've actually both called all of the squad members, all 23 named, for photographs.
Yeah, and I saw Mauricio Pochettino talk about that, the togetherness. You know, they're a squad as a whole, a team as a whole, and that's good to see. Sums up both managers, that.
And they break away now. Liverpool to the right, Tottenham to the left. Liverpool in the all-red kit, and Tottenham are all in white, apart from that blue band around the bottom of the shirts, around their waists. And the players go around and just give one another a final word, a little hug, and prepare for kick-off. The referee, who is the highly experienced Damir Skomina, it's actually something of a surprise that he hasn't refereed a Champions League final before now, but this completes the set for him. World Cups, European Championships, all of the major European finals, one of the top referees around. And he's walking towards the centre circle now. Let me just run you through the teams again before kick-off. Tottenham, Lloris in goal, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Rose, Sissoko and Winks, Eriksen, Ali, Son and Harry Kane. So both Kane and Winks start the match, having not played since April the 9th. And Liverpool with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino and Mane. The final will be underway shortly. Right, we are set for kick-off now. The 2019 Champions League final. The Champions League final between two clubs that haven't been champions of England for many a year, many a decade. But tonight, either Tottenham or Liverpool will be kings of Europe. The sky is blue. The Spanish sun is shining down on the Metropolitano here on the northeast fringe of the city of the Spanish capital. And it is Liverpool who get us underway with the captain, Jordan Henderson, who plays the ball back into central defence to Matip, who strikes it downfield. Liverpool are playing from right to left in the first half. You're listening to us on BBC Radio 5 Live, but the World Service are with us as well, as Henderson plays the ball over the top to Sadio Mane on the edge of the area. Mane into the box, crosses it, it strikes the arms of Sissoko, it's a penalty! Referee Skomina has pointed to the spot, it's a handball, it struck the outstretched arm of Sissoko with less than 30 seconds on the clock. Liverpool have a penalty. Chris Sutton.
Well, that's an unbelievable call from the referee. Mane kicks the ball against, I think it hits Sissoko's chest at first. His arm is out, it hits his arm, but that is soft. He can't give that.
This will be reviewed by VAR. Sean Dyche, the Burnley manager, is here as well.
I don't think he can give that. That is so early in the game. It's hit him on his chest.
I bet he does give it.
His chest. Oh no, I think he will, but it's hit him on his chest, hit him on the arm.
This is the referee who gave the penalty to Manchester United in the dying stages at the Parc des Princes. The check is over. It's a penalty, and Salah is ready to take it. We're in the second minute now, and referee Skomina has actually walked right across to the goal line to talk to Hugo Lloris, who's standing behind the line.
So 3 penalties, I think.
He saved his last 3 penalties that have been taken against him, the French goalkeeper and Tottenham captain. But this is Mohamed Salah, who had to go off early in the Champions League final 1 year ago in Kiev. Here, in the second minute, he's going to take a penalty left-footed and scores! Lloris dives to his left but couldn't stop it. It was struck with too much pace by Mohamed Salah, and Liverpool are in front with 2 minutes on the clock. A controversial penalty award.
Controversial as it was, did we expect anything else? Magnificent! Mo Salah starts with a straight run, a couple of steps to his right, and then he hammers the ball down the middle of the goal. Lloris goes early,
challenge the referee's got, is that his arm is in a strange position, but it does hit his chest first. I mean, I've got to say, I don't know what his arm's up there for, but it does hit the corner of his chest, the edge of his chest, and then goes in. But what a finish. I mean, fantastic execution with his laces, power, pace, bravery to go more or less down the middle. It takes a brave keeper to stand still.
Lloris went the right way, diving to his left. It actually went above his head, just above his head by probably a couple of feet, but it was just struck too powerfully. And it's Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1 in the Champions League final.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he wanted to do and stroked it in beautifully. Confident penalty.
So important now to stay calm, I think. So important. Not easy, by the way, but Tottenham stay calm now. Does the game open up? Do Liverpool go cagey? Do they open the game up and go for it? It's going to be interesting.
Well, there's no rushes for Tottenham. We talked about them being behind in this competition. They've come back all season, against all odds. A goal down in 2 minutes shouldn't worry this Tottenham team.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. If you miss kick-off, you've missed the opening goal. A handball given against Sissoko. Mane was on the left side of the penalty area, near the edge of the box. Just looked to play it across, and Sissoko's arm was outstretched, and it hit him just right at the top of his right arm.
The one thing you would say is, why is Sissoko got his arm up in that position?
No, I agree. It's an unnatural position. I think that's got him in trouble, actually, because it does hit his chest first, but it is a strange position to have your arm in, and nowadays I would say, what is your arm doing up there?
The penalty was awarded after 23 seconds of the Champions League final.
Look at Liverpool now on the press, really on the press, front foot, look at the body language, a shift in it, really try and stamp their authority on the back of that goal.
But as Sean Dyche and Chris Sutton are rightly saying, Tottenham have been here before in this situation. They've never been here before, though, in the Champions League final. The first time they have ever been in this position in the final of Europe's Premier Club competition. And within 2 minutes, they're 1-0 down. Here's Dele Alli, though, on the corner of the penalty area, into Son inside the box, and then in comes the challenge from Henderson, just to toe poke it behind for a corner to Spurs.
Yeah, it's a good run from Ali, trying to get in on the diagonal, in behind Alexander-Arnold. Actually hits Alexander-Arnold in the backside, and he prods the ball to Son, and Henderson was alert and poked the ball behind. And Tottenham gets an opportunity from a corner.
Corner to be taken from the left, the end to our right. 3 tiers, 4 if you include the hospitality tier, is completely red. So the Liverpool fans are, they are jubilant. But Tottenham with the set piece. Harry Kane on the edge of the 6-yard box, Dele Alli just in front of it. Here's the delivery curling towards the back post. The target was for Tongan, but it was headed away by Van Dijk. And now Sissoko is able to take the ball down and play it all the way back into his own half.
That's been one of the big differences set piece wise for Liverpool defensively. Van Dijk's like a magnet in there. When the ball goes in there, he's like a magnet to that ball. He heads everything.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. BBC Radio 5 Live, the World Service. Listeners on BBC London and Radio Merseyside are with us as well. So welcome to you all. Fabinho playing it through the middle now to Sadio Mane, who turns and moves to his right. Henderson is there, a little touch from him. Now back to Mane, who just rolls his left foot over the ball, then gives it into Salah on the edge of the box. Heavy touch there from Son on the edge of his own area, and then it's sliced out of play on the far side for a throw into Liverpool.
That Liverpool attack all came from a really sloppy ball from Kieran Trippier in that right back position. Nervy start from him, but Mane looks electric, doesn't he? In his early stages, drifting in, linking up. What a start for Liverpool.
I was saying this morning, Chris, when we were on breakfast, that if this Champions League final throws up even anything like, even a fraction of the thrills and spills that we've seen in the Champions League this season, then it should be quite a spectacle. And it started with a bang. Here, Tottenham with Son on the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold does well. The ball rolls towards the dead ball line, and he turns and plays it out for a throw up the line.
Do you know one of the hardest things is? Imagine all the planning that's gone into this. Immediately changes everything on the point of both sides, particularly Tottenham, of course. That early goal changed the whole feel of what all the tactical plan was.
Sean Dyche, the Burnley manager, is here with us. Chris Sutton, who's played and scored in the Champions League. Welsh international Robbie Savage is here as well. He'll be hosting 606. We'll hear from him in a little while as well. But here is Sissoko inside his own half. Tottenham trying to recover from conceding the early goal, and then Eriksen plays the ball forward beyond the Liverpool back line, Alexander-Arnold back to Alisson, who had to stretch for that, and he immediately apologises to Liverpool right back.
That was nervy, wasn't it, from Alexander-Arnold? Not the best ball. Alisson stretched, actually went down.
Throw in, taken to Sissoko, he's 30 yards out, angles it back, stumble from Trippier here, but Winks is in possession. Harry Winks, who's come back after a groin operation, and yet is fit to start the Champions League final. Alderweireld swings the ball out high to the left-hand side. Rose, heavy touch from him. He was at full pace, took a touch, but it bounced away and out of play for a throw into Liverpool.
This early in the game, I think, particularly from Tottenham, they've got to stick to whatever the plan was. You know, we don't know what the internal plan was from the manager. Stick with that. 1-0, it's a tough, bitter pill to swallow this early in the game, but just stick with what you thought was right, because it's still in theory right. You know, don't throw it out the winner, stay calm, keep delivering it.
Throw in for Alexander-Arnold, but it was intercepted by the chest of Sissoko, who claimed that he was fouled by Fabinho. Referee Scamino says no. Hit downfield. Danny Rose on the left-hand side. A high foot from Firmino, but didn't make contact with the Tottenham left back. Dele Alli back to Rose. And I suppose, Chris, as well, you know, you mentioned it already, the setbacks that they have had to deal with in this Champions League this season, they have remarkably, Tottenham, always been able to get back eventually into their stride.
Yeah, and that will all be in the memory bank. The trouble they have is they are playing an outstanding Liverpool team.
Son down the left-hand side. This looks promising. Tried to slip the ball infield. Henderson was able to get a foot in. Eriksen on the edge of the box. Back to Son now. Son trying to weave his way through past two men, but then the final line of defence. And then it comes out to Sissoko, who hits the shot from 25 yards plus, and it flies away over the bar.
Lively from Son off that left-hand side. Dancing feet inside the box, and then Fabinho, good interception again. And as the ball goes out to Sissoko, I just wondered, could he have hit it first time, took a touch, and then Wild with a shot goes a long way over the Liverpool bar.
Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, passing the ball out, as Liverpool like to do. Fabinho was under pressure from Son. Kane wasn't far away, so from the middle of his own half he turned and just gave the ball back to Alisson, and now it's long for Liverpool, for Mane to chase. Mane, left side of the box, and then in comes Kieran Trippier with the challenge, just got there, timed it well, corner Liverpool.
It's the second time they put it in behind Trippier. You know, it looks to me like the early questions are being asked, you know, can we get our wide players, our fast wide players, Mane, so can we get them high and wide, can we get them working off the shoulder of the back four of Tottenham?
I think he's a player, Trippier, who's really lacked confidence this season. And Liverpool, it's a plan of trying to exploit Spurs in that right-back position.
Very powerful from set pieces, by the way, Liverpool this season. I think they've got 30 of their 89 goals from set pieces in the Premier League, of varying sorts, including penalties, of course.
It's interesting here as well, Sean, the Liverpool players are very much crowding Lloris. They've got 5 men virtually on the goal line. They're surrounding Lloris.
It looks like they're going to whip it on top of him. See what the referee does with this.
That's the plan. Remember the goal that Lloris conceded at Anfield just a couple of months ago. Alexander-Arnold plays it in. Lloris gets up there, punches it down into the penalty area. It bounces out of the box and is cleared away downfield. A clear Liverpool tactic.
Yep, rode the ball in, but that was a good French fist. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. Here in Madrid, lovely orangey sunshine on the top of the roof of the Metropolitano, where it says Madrid 19 final, and we've got the crests of the two clubs. Liverpool long pass downfield, but that's way beyond Mohamed Salah, who's got his goal in the Champions League final, albeit from the penalty spot, so that edges him ahead of Mane in the Liverpool top scorer stakes this season, his 27th of the season. And some say he's had an indifferent season. Ridiculous. Tottenham with a throw. Rose takes it when the Spurs go marching in. We're hearing that in full force now as Kane goes into the challenge. It was Alexander-Arnold, it was Matip who came in with the challenge, caught Kane, who went spiralling over and crashed down onto the surface. He's okay, he's going to be back on his feet. It's a free kick, and I think Matip is going to be only ticked off for that. I actually thought he wins the ball first time against Ali.
I'm very, very surprised that he hasn't booked him there. Very surprised. I know, you know, they often talk referees letting the game settle, but I'm very surprised. Oh, what a great ball.
Free kick taken quickly to Son. It was taken quickly by Dele Alli. He was a little unfortunate there,
transition.
It was just deflected off Son onto the Liverpool defender, and it bounced away from him, and Liverpool were able to clear downfield. So it's a throw into Tottenham halfway inside their own half. We played 12 minutes, BBC Radio 5 Live, the World Service, BBC London, Radio Merseyside, live from beautiful Madrid, where the weather, the temperature, we said it was going to be around about 30 degrees at kick-off. Sitting up here in the stand, it's absolutely beautiful. Won't be so easy down there on the pitch. Here is Vertonghen at the back. He was another one who's doubtful after picking up an injury, an ankle injury in the semi-final in Amsterdam. Back it goes to Hugo Lloris. Lloris, long and left-footed towards the halfway line, but Alexander-Arnold wins the header for Liverpool, 5 times European champions. Van Dijk heads it over the halfway line. Rose. Now here's Son on the left-hand side. Son back into central defence again to Vertonghen. Liverpool whistles because Tottenham have the ball inside their own half. And then it's drilled forward, left-footed by Vertonghen. Trippier at full tilt gets there as well. Near the dead ball line, turns, gives it back to Eriksen near the right corner of the box. Now it's back to Sissoko with the white wristbands on. Back to Eriksen on the right-hand side. Eriksen whips a left-footed ball towards the back post, but Alexander-Arnold was able to get up and head it out towards the far side for a throw.
That wasn't a very good crossing position, Sean. There a couple of times to put the ball in.
Yeah, I mean, a nice roll back from Eriksen. We know he's got great delivery. I'm amazed he didn't just whip that in. You know, the power, the pace that he's got to put that in. You could see Tottenham now having to open the pitch up. That means that Liverpool have to be defensively resilient, work on their distance, work on the shape. But as I said, you know, in the show, very, very good on transition, Liverpool. A really dangerous game Tottenham have got to play now, because they've got to open up to try and open up the Liverpool defence. Working at a good block at the moment, but it's a dangerous tactic, I think.
Another raking pass from central defence from, this time, Alderweireld. Trippier was right on the white line, and he chested it back in, but the ball was already out. So Liverpool have a throw just down in front of us, next to where the blue carpet is, in front of the tunnel, with the image of the trophy itself just off the field, in between where Jurgen Klopp is standing with his hands behind his back. Mauricio Pochettino currently just sitting down in the dugout. Mauricio Pochettino yet to win a major trophy as a manager. Espanyol, Southampton, and now Tottenham, and Jurgen Klopp, who's looking to win his first trophy as the manager of Liverpool. Mauricio Pochettino, it's 5 years this week since he was appointed. Here's Dele Alli, but it bounces away from him. Robertson's pass was a little fortunate there, bounced back to him. And then Wijnaldum also can't keep the ball, and Tottenham have got it back inside their own half. And Pochettino now suddenly appears from underneath the roof of the dugout, skipping forward in clearly anger to the edge of the coaching area. Alexander-Arnold allows the ball to bounce behind.
You know this already, but you know both teams, they play, we spoke about this, good distances, good on the front foot, trying to get the back foot up. And if you notice, the main threat at the moment has been getting good quality in behind, the back foot, either back foot.
Quarter of an hour played. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. With 15 minutes played, why don't we bring in Robbie Savage for a view on the first 15 minutes of the match, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm not sure Liverpool have played that well. I think Tottenham, have come into the game since the penalty was awarded after 23 seconds. See, I think it is a penalty. I think with the new, the way VAR is instructed in the Champions League, I think that is a penalty.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie. I think as well, when you see that, now we are used to the fact that in a UEFA match, that will be given as a penalty.
Yeah, and I think that is the magic of VAR, though, because I think my initial reaction, as you know, was that was harsh. The more I looked at it, the more I saw this out of position right arm, then you think, no, it's got to be given. So that's what VAR's there for.
Well, we were both at the VAR meeting, weren't we, John? And referees, they're told to give them as harsh as it seems.
Yeah, that's what Damien Scamina did in Paris when Marcus Rashford scored the penalty and won the match for Manchester United, or won the tie for Manchester United. And that's what he did here when Salah scored in the second minute. So Liverpool leading 1-0. Here's Henderson, the Liverpool captain, gives it to Alexander-Arnold, who's going to shoot from the angle 30 yards out, and that was not far away, across goal and wide of the foot of the post.
There's another interception. Good reading of the play from Fabinho. Prods the ball to Henderson, who feeds it to Alexander-Arnold. He must be all of 30 yards out, and he cuts across the ball, all sorts of swaz on it. And he's not far away, just past that right-hand post of Lloris.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. and we've got a pitch invader who's running into the centre circle, so play obviously has to be stopped, and she has now been caught by a couple of stewards and is being taken away. The ball was just in the centre of the field. So 1-0 to Liverpool. Liverpool have actually conceded the first goal in their last 4 Champions League finals, European Cup Champions League final. Not this time. They're ahead in this match. And incidentally, when Liverpool have won this trophy, the 5 times they've won it, they've all been against teams wearing white. Liverpool in red tonight, Tottenham in white.
So you're ruling Spurs out then, John?
Well, I'm not ruling them out because they played a team in white last year and lost. Here's Alisson with the ball as players back underway. Ball towards the left-hand side, towards Robertson. And then Sadio Mane felt that he was fouled there as the challenge came in from Trippier. Eriksen plays it through the middle, bounces off Henderson. Now it's back with Matip. And now Fabinho in the centre circle. Henderson takes it on. Henderson sees space for Robertson on the left-hand side. This is typical Andy Robertson. Off he goes, down the left wing. But then that's typical Sissoko to come in strongly, is able to get a touch on the ball, and then Robertson with a touch too, and he's able to shepherd it behind for a goal kick for Tottenham near the corner flag.
So important when Tottenham are playing the intricate passing through the midfield. They've got to keep the ball. On turnover there, you can see how quickly Mane, how quickly Salah, they break off their shape and they drive towards the goal, waiting for the chance to operate on transition, waiting for the quality to come in behind the back four, and they know they've got the pace to get away from the back four of Tottenham.
Ball up towards Harry Kane, not really been able to get into the game just yet. Tottenham 1-0 down. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Eriksen, through towards Son, and then crucial defending from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who went across with Son and was able to just get a touch on the ball and take it away from him. But classic Eriksen with that pass from inside his own half, probably 10 yards inside his own territory. Tottenham still pressing here. Dele Alli, square. Now it's with Winks, back to Dele Alli. Winks allows it to run to Eriksen, just outside the D. So close to slipping it through again, Eriksen, but this time Henderson was able to intercept and prevent it from reaching Son.
Great defending there, great team play from Henderson to work back into his back forward to stop that chance.
Ball swung in from the left-hand side, but straight into the arms of Alisson. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, and we just saw that the earlier chance came from really good hold-up play from Harry Kane. Deft touch into the path of Eriksen. Question marks over Kane, his fitness. Can he last? Is he fully fit? It's a decent start, but they need to give him the service.
Yeah, if you've just joined us, the team news was that Kane and Winks are fit. They're both playing. They both started the Champions League final, and likewise Firmino for Liverpool, who's not really got into the game. Firmino for Liverpool. Here's Henderson now on the halfway line. Henderson towards the right-hand side. Salah is out there, just runs his foot over the ball as he does as he moves infield. Then gives a pass to Firmino. Back to Salah. Left foot shot. Took a deflection off Alderweireld, which took it further wide of the goal. And it's another Liverpool corner, and let's see if they crowd Lloris again.
Yeah, again, it's a good driving run from Salah off that right-hand side. Links up. Gets a shot off about 25 yards out, deflects wide of the goal. Looks like it's same again, John.
They are walking with a sort of air of menace, aren't they?
They've been strong at set pieces. You know, it's a great chance for them here. Tottenham got to really be diligent and really be alive here.
Yeah, 5 men all around the Tottenham goalkeeper. Tottenham defenders in there as well. Alexander-Arnold with the delivery. Lloris comes, gets a punch on it. This time a left fist, which takes it bouncing out into the hoardings on the far side for a throw-in.
He's dealt with it well, Lloris, the 2 corners. You know, they're asking questions. It looks like around him, but he's dealt with it well.
1-0 Liverpool lead. Throw into Liverpool. Jordan Henderson just having a little word with referee Scamina. I'm not sure what that was about. To throw in to Liverpool, halfway inside the Tottenham half. Already over 20 minutes played. Mohamed Salah's penalty, the difference between the sides. The throw-in taken towards Salah in the box on the right-hand side, turns and shoots left-footed from an almost impossible angle, and actually it was so impossible it's gone straight across the penalty area and bounced out for a throw-in.
You don't often see that from Mo Salah, a shot which goes out for a throw-in. He uses his body so well, you can't get too tight to Salah. He feels Vertonghen, good sharp turn.
There's a skill in that, mate. I was good at finding the stand.
incidentally not just out for a throw-in, it was 10 yards away from the corner flag. Firmino into the box from the left-hand side. His little ball in field was read by Vertonghen, who was able to move across and clear it away. Liverpool back in possession. Robertson, Firmino now, Mane with a flick with the inside of his right foot out to the left for Van Alden. Ball cross from Robertson, looking for the arriving Salah, but Danny Rose got a touch to it. Such an important touch with his head, which took it flying out for a throw on the right.
How many times is he on the money, Robertson? Left-hand touchline, so many assists this season. Rose took up a good position.
Same as we were saying about Eriksen, that's why I couldn't believe he turned it down. At the other end of the pitch, Trippier rolls it back. Eriksen's got the same shape as Robertson and his right foot though, working the ball into the box with power. The ugly balls, they call it. Centre-halves hate that. Fizzing in, power, whip, horrible to deal with.
Tottenham still penned back in their defensive third. Son gave it away there. Liverpool coming again. Robertson to the left-hand side to Mane. Mane just drifting from right to left towards the dead ball line. Trippier goes with him. Trippier's able to stick out a left leg and block it behind. Another Liverpool corner.
And Eriksen getting dragged back, doing a job defensively. But that matchup, Mane against Trippier, Liverpool, a lot of play down this left-hand side. And Trippier stood up well there.
Liverpool were in great form coming into the end of the season as they chased Manchester City all the way. They've won 13 of their last 14 matches, and actually this team, so just one change from the last league match of the season. Corner taken short this time to Henderson in the box. Now Robertson swings it in from the left-hand side. That's headed away on the edge of the area. And Robertson, as the two players turned, Kieran Trippier and Robertson together, Robertson, I'm not sure whether it's just a swinging arm that has caught Trippier, who just recoiled back and fell to the ground clutching his face.
Well, see, the referee, Scamina, having words with Robertson. He's just running. His arm catches Trippier. It's a natural movement, isn't it? He catches Trippier in the eye or in the nose. I mean, Trippier goes down. Should he go down there? It was hardly vicious.
It happened very close to the Tottenham technical area. And Mauricio Pochettino, I think he must have said something, because the referee's just paused play here and he is speaking quite animatedly with Mauricio Pochettino, and then they pat one another on the chest and everything's all right.
He just looked like that, Mauricio Pochettino, like he's losing his cool. If he's angry about the early goal, he looks rattled.
Not difficult in these conditions to lose your cool, Chris. You might need that jumper later, though.
Well, I was mocked earlier, wasn't I, by Sean Dyche and Robbie Savage,
but I can assure the listeners, Chris did tell us it could get freezing later, not chilly, freezing.
We are quite
I can assure you, it's not going to get freezing later.
We're quite high in the stand, but not that high.
It's all relative.
Sissoko just playing the ball back to goalkeeper Lloris in the penalty area to our left. Tottenham just keeping the ball inside their own half. Lloris goes low, and Van Dijk is able to, unchallenged, head it back towards the halfway line, where Sissoko, under pressure from Van Alden, miscontrols it out for a throw into Liverpool 10 yards inside their own half. 25 minutes played. You're listening to us on the World Service, BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC London and Radio Merseyside on a beautiful evening here in the northeast of Madrid. Throw in Robertson, takes it up the line. Trippier, who's recovered from that hand in the face. Then Son just can't bring the ball under control in the centre circle. Liverpool go forward again, but then Sissoko is able to turn it, roll it back all the way to Hugo Lloris in the penalty area to our left.
I think both managers at the minute a little bit unsettled with too many turnovers, too many cheap turnovers, too many simple things going wide, simple passes that are not finding the mark. Just happened again there, too many turnovers. And I think both managers will be a bit disappointed with that so far.
Yeah, 20 days since they last played a match. Whether that's a factor or not, I don't know. Whether the heat plays a part in that, but it has had that to it.
Oh yes, I think so. But that time, those 3 weeks have allowed Tottenham to get key players fit for this game. So I don't think Spurs will be moaning about that too much. And Liverpool, of course, Firmino fit.
Harry Kane. Ball out towards the left-hand side. Vertonghen, now Rose, back towards Vertonghen. Alderweireld's available on the edge of his penalty area. And then the Tottenham central defenders just exchanging passes, and then Firmino comes forward and closes down Alderweireld, who has to go long, and Trippier plays it on the volley into Robertson. and it bounces out of play next to Mauricio Pochettino, who then has the ball thrown at him by a ball boy and it hits him in the chest. Trippier has got a ball from somewhere and he takes the throw. Alderweireld again, the Liverpool press here with Firmino for Tongan, just angles it to Winks, now to Sissoko. Spurs still inside their own half, and then the long ball from Alderweireld through the middle. Son on the chase, running at an angle from left to right, takes the ball down, runs it out into the full-back position.
I thought he looked offside
And
when he made the run. It was a tight one.
You can see both sides though, like I say, because they're both pressing sides, they want to get on the front foot. That means the back four's got to come up, but you can see very effective both sides when they have length in the pitch. They have asked questions in behind the back four. Very close there, very close to getting in Tottenham.
1-0 Liverpool lead. Liverpool supporters in great heart here. 16,000 more of them, more than that. Similar allocation for Tottenham as well, to our left. So many white shirts. Ball up towards Mane, who was challenged from behind by Alderweireld. It's given as a free kick. Alderweireld throws his arms up in the air, but it's a free kick to Liverpool, forward of the centre circle.
I think it was Trippier on Mane. Diagonal ball from Alexander-Arnold halfway inside his own half. Wasn't the best of balls, fired into him. I think Liverpool got a little bit lucky there. Looked soft to me at the ward of the free kick.
Free kick. Alexander-Arnold is over it. As I say, it's probably 10 yards ahead of the centre circle, so it's a long, long way out.
He's not going to shoot. He's not going to shoot, Sean.
It's taken short, and then Alexander-Arnold curls it in, and Sissoko moved towards it, jumped with it, but allowed it to go through for a goal kick.
I wonder whether Sissoko got a touch on that. Was switched on and was alert.
Almost half an hour played, and Liverpool leading through the penalty that was awarded after 23 seconds of the Champions League final. And Tottenham in a little bit of trouble at the back.
Very surprised there. Lloris is playing out there. They've set the press. Liverpool have set the press there, and they're still fighting their way to get out of there. They've finally got out of there, but they're working ever so hard time just to get the ball out of their own half at the minute. I think they maybe have to mix their play a little bit more, even from goal kicks.
Fabinho with a challenge on Kane. That's a foul, a little foul, and a free kick to Tottenham. Just when Tottenham were looking to break over the halfway line, Eriksen involved again. Eriksen's been involved in, well, the best of what Tottenham have been able to do so far in this final. Lloris clears long, left-footed over the halfway line, bounces off Matip. Van Dijk has to move across towards his left-hand side and then scoops a pass that Robertson will do well to keep in. In fact, he can't reach it. It bounces out of play just next to Jurgen Klopp for a throw into Tottenham. Trippier was quickly on the scene, wanted to take a quick throw to Eriksen, but thinks twice. Kane plays it forward. That bounces into the path of Van Dijk, who just clears it away downfield, and Tottenham have a throw.
Very effective at smothering the play at the minute, Liverpool. Their distances are good, they're compact, they're breaking into the main lines of pass. I know Tottenham want to get into the pockets, they want to get into. Doing a really good job at the minute, Liverpool. They're just containing Tottenham.
Fine lines between them in the Premier League this season. Both matches finished 2-1 to Liverpool, who were worthy winners at Wembley early in the season. But Tottenham gave them a real fright in the second half, at least, at Anfield. Here's Salah. Salah playing the ball through towards Firmino, but Alderweireld was able to move into position and take the ball away from the Liverpool number 9. Tottenham still with the ball. In fact, the offside flag goes up and it's a free kick to Spurs halfway inside their own half. The 2019 Champions League final being won 1-0 by Liverpool. Trippier. Here's Harry Winks. Missed the last 9 matches, just like Harry Kane. Now Alderweireld, who has played in a losing Champions League final for the team that plays in this stadium, Atletico Madrid, when they were beaten in the first of the All Madrid finals. We talk about a final between 2 English clubs. Of course, we've had 2 Champions League finals in recent years between 2 teams from this city. Here's Rose over the halfway line. Plays the ball behind Son with a little error. We've
Too
seen
many unforced errors.
errors.
Yeah, too many unforced errors at the minute. Both sides, but particularly Tottenham. Too many moments like that. Simple moments to build something into the game. To build to be effective, to get in the top third with quality. Too many at the moment.
He did well initially. Rose knocked the ball around Henderson, left-hand side. Just a really poor pass, goes out for a throw into Liverpool.
Throw into Liverpool, halfway inside their own half. Wijnaldum plays it back to Alexander-Arnold, who just hits the ball rather aimlessly to Sissoko in the centre circle, and Sissoko is able to drive on. So close, Sissoko, to finding the pass diagonally to Son, but Matic was in just the right place.
Yeah, and you say that, but Alexander-Arnold's error came from a really poor pass back from Wijnaldum.
Eriksen now for Tottenham, rolls it to the left-hand side to Danny Rose. Blue boots, quick steps, but didn't get the movement that he wanted there. Danny Rose, who's berating his teammates and has to play it back towards the halfway line. Now Harry Winks turns on the ball, plays it centrally to Dele Alli. A flick from him, Harry Kane takes it up, then back towards the halfway line to Winks. Winks passes it behind Trippier. It's another error, passed out of play by Harry Winks this time.
Another really poor pass, and Trippier is the out ball because Liverpool's back four are so narrow. Trippier hugging the touchline, but that was awful.
The manager Pochettino will be really frustrated at the minute, just from the simple parts of the game. I said before the game, I asked him what would I tell the players. I said build on the basics, do the basics well.
Here's Dele Alli. Dele Alli gets away into the penalty area on the right hand side, still going, plays the ball across, actually tried to play it through the legs, I think, of Matic, and it caught the right leg and bounced behind for a Tottenham corner, which Ali is going to take quickly. He does to Trippier. Trippier looks up, curls it in towards the near post. Wijnaldum was there in position to head it out and back towards the right hand side where it bounces out of play for a throw in. Just over 10 minutes to go to half time. Liverpool leading through the early Salah penalty. Trippier just holding the ball, the Champions League final ball with its white stars and orange background above his head. Trippier takes the throw. Eriksen near the corner flag, down here to the right. Robertson is able to get a toe to it to touch it out of play, and it's a throw into Tottenham 5 yards back from the corner flag. Again Trippier. Winks is at close quarters. Trippier loops a throw in towards Kane. That's won by Van Dijk against Kane. And now Tottenham win it back. Trippier. Tottenham fans feeling that he might have fouled Firmino there, but it's not given that way, and Tottenham still have possession, albeit deep inside their own half with the central defenders. Vertonghen wanted to hit that quickly, but felt that Trippier wasn't ready for it. And again, there's a little reaction from a Tottenham man, this time waving his arms in the direction of Trippier.
Look how open they've made it now. Look at the fullbacks for Tottenham. High, very high, wide, and they've got the three coming inside now, joining in with, or hoping to join in with Kane. Look at Son's position, look at Eriksen's position, really trying to force themselves in to get nearer to Kane.
10 minutes to go to half time, plus added time. Here's Henderson, the Liverpool captain, on the right, does well, gets round the defender, but his cross is too deep, and in actual fact swung out of play according to the assistant on the far side, so it's a goal kick to Tottenham.
A poor diagonal ball from Trippier, but Liverpool, their shape, they're just sitting in, Sean, waiting to pounce on.
Really, really good distances. They're alive, they're alert, they're coming out of shots. Obviously the early goal helps enormously. It's so difficult. Tottenham, like I said, they're opening up, they want to play, they want to open up the pockets, but when Liverpool get it and they work on counter, they can be devastating at times. Really, Tottenham have got to do it, don't get me wrong, to break Liverpool down, but it is a big risk.
Remember how Tottenham came on strong at Anfield in the second half. Dele Alli flicking the ball forward, but that will just run through to Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, who is able to pick it up quite comfortably. And actually, for once, just walks forward calmly with it, bounces it a couple of times. The bearded Liverpool goalkeeper, who's made a big difference to this Liverpool team. And just as I talk him up, he launches the ball straight out of play, about 10 yards above the head of Robertson for a throw into Tottenham. Here's Trippier, who plays it back to his goalkeeper, Lloris, who was beaten by the Salah penalty. As I say, it was quite close to him. It was just a couple of feet above him, but
he guessed, he gambled. Yeah. We can't blame the keeper for
that. Salah just hit him so cleanly, didn't he? Quite a big wind up, as you said, Chris, for the penalty. Stepped out wide to the right hand side, came in, but struck it so well.
Like a rugby kicker.
Liverpool ball in the Tottenham defensive third, but over on the far side, Salah has two Tottenham players with him, and the ball's deflected back onto Salah and out of play for a throw in to Tottenham halfway inside, or deep inside their own half on the far side, that Danny Rose is going to take. next to a Tottenham flag from Nuneaton. The banners actually are a real feature at both ends. There are some great little messages on them that are hanging from all of the various points around the ground where the supporters have been allowed to hang the flags and banners. Liverpool with the ball inside their own half. Robertson turns it back to Alisson, who will pass it out towards Matip, who flicks the ball here to Robertson. Great pass, and Robertson has space now. He's looking to capitalise on that and takes it up towards the edge of the area and shoots. And Lloris, it was just above his head, but I think that was moving both at pace and from side to side, and he touched it over the bar.
What a player, what a season he has had. But let me tell you, the pass out from Matip, who was under all sorts of pressure from Son, was sublime. Crossfield ball from right to left, and Robertson just kept going and going. Given the space, and he hammers the shot, and Lloris did make the save, should have made the save, tipped it over.
It's a corner to Liverpool. It's the fourth one they've had, but it's the first one from the right-hand side. So this time, with Alexander-Arnold hitting the outswinging corner, they're not crowding Lloris. They're near the penalty spot. Ball into the near post, Son heads it out, and then Salah was underneath it, just on the edge of the D. He caught that well as well, but he's landed it halfway up the lower tier of the Tottenham fans.
I don't often say this, mind the windows, Mo. That was horrible, wasn't it? Right-footed volley. And Vertonghen, worryingly for Spurs, has gone down, holding his left arm.
So what's happened there then? Vertonghen is crouching down in his own penalty area, and the medical people are on. He's down on one knee and now stands up. And is it a finger, perhaps? It's a bit difficult to tell.
Left elbow, isn't it? Left arm.
Yeah, it's his lower left arm, and the physio is holding his left elbow and manipulating his left wrist. And Vertonghen looks as though he's in some pain. You know, he's got his fingers pinching the bridge of his nose. And we're just seeing a replay now when.
He's competing for the ball. The corner comes in, and Ronaldo gets the run on him, and you can see him now. His face is in a lot of pain.
I think he's going to be alright. I think he's funny both. We all know what a pain in the that is.
Elbow.
Yes, of course. Exactly what I meant.
That's our medical expert, Sean Dyche.
Thanks, I've only been here for 2.
I was just going to say,
it feels like it being with you anyway.
Yeah, Sean, welcome to a 5 Live commentary with Chris Sutton. The ball's out of play for a goal kick, and Vertonghen's going to be okay, sprinting back towards the halfway line, and he's now straight back onto the field. So 1-0 Liverpool lead, half-time approaching. Henderson playing a high ball over the top towards Mane, who is able to move away from Trippier, who is very tight on him. But they're together now in the Tottenham right back area. Mane then found Winks on the scene as well, so played it back to Robertson, who angles the ball infield, and now Wijnaldum just outside the box. Salah flicked it, but didn't get enough of a flick on it to Mane, and Sissoko was able to arrive and with both legs block it out for a throw-in.
See Mane on virtually every time it turns over the middle, he drives at Trippier. He's driving at him, trying to get him behind him, trying to, disrupt Trippier with his pace and his power.
Robertson takes the throw. A little stooping header by Firmino, back to Robertson, who loses to Son. And now Eriksen. And Son running across field, but he's lost possession. Henderson with a chance to shoot. It's deflected back to Firmino in the D. Firmino trying to find a shooting position. Across came Alderweireld, so he uses Henderson, then plays it out to the right-hand side. Here's the cross from Alexander-Arnold, which hits the defender, Danny Rose, and bounces straight behind for a Liverpool corner.
Just wondered. He dwell on it too long. Firmino had the chance to get the shot off, took too long, and Spurs smother it out for a corner to Liverpool.
I hope Spurs are not playing. An awful game if Spurs turn up.
Yes. I had a feeling you weren't going to let him get away with that. Corner then, Alexander-Arnold to the near post. That's headed away for Tottenham. Two Liverpool players near it. Salah hits a shot, but rather sliced that. And I think it took a deflection as well. Lloris scampered to his right.
It's got to do better than that.
Premier League, seven direct contacts for goals. Liverpool. Each time this happens, if they get the right quality in there, they have got goals in them from corners.
He should have kept that in, the goalkeeper, Lloris. It was a volley, or half volley, And Salah took a deflection.
Yeah, and the spinning ball that had too much spin on it for the Tottenham goalkeeper, who fumbled it behind for a corner. Salah's going to take this one to the near post, but Son hooks it away on the volley with his right foot, and it bounces out of play, or at least Robertson makes sure it bounces out of play, with Eriksen not far away. Liverpool finishing the first half strongly here, leading by 1-0. We've got 2.5 minutes of the first 45 of this 2019 Champions League final to play. You're listening to it on the BBC Radio, 5 Live, the World Service, BBC London, and Radio Merseyside are all with us this evening. So millions and millions of listeners to the radio, and as Mauricio Pochettino said yesterday, 1 billion watching on television. Liverpool with the ball in from the right-hand side, blocked on the edge of the box by Alderweireld, and then Liverpool concede a free kick 10 yards inside their own half, and it's going to be taken quickly by Winks, looking for the ball over the top through the middle. Matip was in position to head it away. Harry Kane holds off Van Dijk but goes to ground, no free kick, and Alexander-Arnold whips the ball away downfield. This is for Salah to chase, but Vertonghen got there first, played it with his right foot back to Lloris. It's kept in by a leaping Danny Rose with his head on the far side, and Tottenham will pass it away from inside their own half, and in fact Rose rolls the pass forward to Son on the left-hand side, and it is 3 against 3 as Tottenham come forward, but the ball is overhit by Dele Alli through for Alisson.
Too many unforced errors from Tottenham. You know, we're talking very high quality technical players. They'll be so frustrated. The manager will too many unforced errors for players of this level in the market.
Yeah, it's a disappointing feature of this Champions League final so far.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I don't think it was the most difficult pass from Dele Alli, but to miss it by that far and allow Alisson to gather. And quite frankly, this first half, Alisson, I don't think has had a save to make.
They've not made a single note of that nature. The ball was played forward for Liverpool, but Mane took a stumble there, or a slip, or under pressure from Trippier. Anyway, he ended up on the ground, and Tottenham have got the ball back. We're in the last minute of the first 45. Now, we had a goal right at the end. We had a goal right at the start of this half for Liverpool, and Tottenham coming forward. Robertson is able to get his foot to it and hook it out of play for a throw-in. The fourth official has just come forward with the board. He did flash the number, and I think it might have been a 2. Here's Tottenham's number 2 with a throw-in 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. Eriksen comes across, back to Trippier, then into the centre circle. Firmino unsettles Vertonghen, but the ball bounces for Sissoko. It is 2 minutes of added time being played at the end of this first period. Now on the right-hand side, Son moves away from Robertson. Son plays it across. Dele Alli touches it back to Eriksen. It's opening up for Eriksen, but his left foot shot is hit horribly high over the crossbar and into the Liverpool fans.
And they worked it really well. There was an opportunity to let the ball go out to the left-hand side for Rose, but when Eriksen gets within 20, 22 yards of the goal and has a free shot, you certainly expect the goalkeeper to be worked left-footed.
At least that a little reminder of the Tottenham what you know. A little pocket of play, filling the sort of D of the box with players in quality positions and trying to break out wide or get efforts at goal.
1-0 to Liverpool. Tottenham with the ball on the edge of their own penalty area again. Final seconds of the first half. This second Champions League final between two English clubs. Trippier hits the ball downfield. Matip got his head to it. Van Dijk hikes it straight out of play for a throw into Tottenham.
Doing that's just changing the feel a little bit, asking a different question, stretching the midfield of Liverpool, just asking a question. Can you go and work off second ball sometimes, as well as the beauty of playing through the thirds?
Trippier after the throw back to Sissoko. We've got 30 seconds of added time left. The whistles are Liverpool whistles. They want to see their team going in with the lead at half-time here in Madrid. Tottenham with Winks, then Rose on the left-hand side, and now Dele Alli out on the left flank, and then it's worked across by Winks, but cut out at the near post by Matip. Alexander-Arnold then comes in with a challenge, wins it back. Rose is claiming that Alexander-Arnold carried it out and over the dead ball line, but the assistant on the other side didn't feel that, and it's out of play for a throw into Tottenham near the halfway line. So 1-0 Liverpool lead, and that is the half-time score. So the early goal, the very early penalty after 23 seconds for Sissoko's handball. It struck him high on the right arm. The arm was outstretched. Referee Scamina had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. It was whipped away, buried by Mo Salah to give Liverpool the lead in the second minute. We've seen lots of unforced errors from Tottenham. We've seen very little of Harry Kane, who was chosen to start this final. And at half-time, Liverpool lead by 1-0 as the players troop down the tunnel and towards the dressing rooms here at the Metropolitano. So the half-time score, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Liverpool 1. It does, yes, it's been rather disappointing, disjointed so far, but Liverpool happy enough with the 1-0 lead that they hold from Mo Salah's penalty in the second minute. So Tottenham will get the second half underway. No substitutions, no changes. So Tottenham as they were, with Lloris in goal, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Rose, Sissoko and Winks, Eriksen, Ali, Son and Kane. Lucas Moura was watching him warm up during the half-time break in his green bib. And Liverpool with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino and Mane.
If I could just pull my head out the sand, for 1 minute. Look at that scene though. Look now the lights on, look at the darkness in the sky, the lights ringing around the stadium, look at the sea of the shirts. Fantastic scene, I must say.
It is really quite special on this warm night here in Madrid in the Metropolitano. All red to our right, all white to our left, and red currently in the ascendancy because of that Salah penalty. Ball out of play for throwing to Tottenham over on the far side, which is taken back to Winks. If Lucas Moura does come on, who does make way, Chris Sutton?
Well, you would think Harry Kane, and this is, we'll find out soon, won't we? How fit is Harry Kane? You have to say he didn't get the service in the first half, but are they missing that Moura zip? Spurs haven't created anything. We know his dynamism can cause Liverpool problems.
Chris Sutton with us, Sean Dyche with us, Robbie Savage as well. Here come Tottenham with the ball on the right-hand side. Son up against Robertson. Onto his left foot, uses his right, gives it back to Trippier, whose cross is deep to the back post. Dele Alli, off balance, tried to head it back across the area, got it all wrong, and Liverpool cleared.
There you go, like I said, changing the field of play, sliding it in behind the back four of Liverpool, getting a good delivery in, and just asking a question really early in the second half.
With Son suddenly on the right.
Yeah, it started on the right this half. Tactical tweak, maybe. It was a poor header from Ali. Good ball, deep ball. And Ali near the touchline. Got it all wrong, the header, and it was cleared.
There you go, yet again. Maurice kicking it, changing the field.
Lloris up to Kane. Kane takes it down, drifts out to the left-hand side into the box, pulls it across, but in behind Dele Alli and too far ahead of Son. He actually split the two of them, and the ball's out for a throw on the far side.
Yeah, but we know from this European adventure for Tottenham, write them off at your peril.
I was just going to say that to you. We're not writing them off yet, Chris.
He nicks everything. I'll tell you, he nicks everything apart from Robbie's gear.
1-0 Liverpool lead. And this is BBC Radio live from Madrid, 5 Live, the World Service, BBC London and Radio Merseyside all together for this Champions League final of 2019. Fabinho stabbing the ball over the halfway line on the far side. Trippier gets it down, but there, one of those mistakes, an unforced error. Trippier just stabs it out of play on the far side, and it's a throw into Liverpool inside their own half. I remember late 70s and early 80s, the European Cup final as it was then was very often decided by just the one goal. In recent seasons though, we've seen some really special matches full of goals. Just the one so far in this one, and it has been for large parts rather scrappy. The ball at the back with Vertonghen. Salah was quickly onto it. Back it went to Lloris, who cleared to the halfway line, comes back to Vertonghen. He chests it down. Vertonghen volleys it up towards the left-hand side. Dele Alli can't keep that in. It's a throw.
Seemed to panic, Vertonghen did. What I will say, John, I can't see this with the nature of Mauricio Pochettino. I can't see this ending 1-0. I really can't, because eventually he will just go all in.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
As he did,
as he probably should. Because you've got to chase. If he has to chase it, not yet, but there comes a time when he's got to chase it. I agree.
Liverpool throw above Salah. So this time Alderweireld comes across and he just hooks it away out of play nearer the halfway line, where Robertson will take the throw, where Alexander-Arnold will take the throw, which he does. Firmino nods it back towards the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold can't keep this in. Now it's a Liverpool series of errors and a Tottenham throw.
Yeah, and he would be the one player, I think, Liverpool player this first half, in the first half, he looked very leggy. Firmino did, and I wonder whether Klopp is thinking about a change.
See, even little things like this for me, and I know, look, World Night, everything considered, but it's the Champions League. Speed the throw-ins up, speed everything up. You know, if I'm talking, go and speed the tempo of the game up. Get your team on the front foot. Sometimes it's just by doing them little details, but doing them quicker.
Kane gets to the ball first in centre field, and Wijnaldum catches him.
Hand on the play. Hand on the play. Should hand on the play. Get, you know, build a tempo.
Free kick forward and left of the centre circle, won by Kane. So Tottenham have this. Tottenham in the second half, likewise Liverpool, attacking the ends where their own supporters are. So the Spurs fans are trying to suck this in. Trippier takes the free kick over the line. Son in the area, lays it back. Shot from Vertonghen was blocked by a Liverpool defender, and the flag is up on the far side, and it's a free kick to Liverpool, who lead by 1-0.
Yeah, one off the training ground. Son, I just wonder whether he went slightly early. They're in a central position. He does go early. Really sloppy from Spurs. Good line from Liverpool, high line.
Liverpool take the free kick and work it towards the halfway line. Pass from Firmino is over the head of Henderson, and I'm afraid the pattern of the first half has continued into the second. This time an error from Firmino just to lift it out of play on the halfway line. Rose will take the throw in for Tottenham. Sissoko comes short. It was Sissoko who conceded the penalty after just 23 seconds, which was eventually taken and scored by Salah. Lloris now long to the halfway line. This one's won by the head of Fabinho. Now Alexander-Arnold, he hits a long one down the right-hand side. This is for Salah to chase, but Vertonghen was close to the Egyptian and was able to take the ball and play it away. Sissoko does well under pressure. Sissoko plays it to Eriksen. Eriksen now making good ground, pulls the ball across square. Winks is in the edge of the penalty area, and then an important interception, an important block really from Robertson, and Liverpool are able to snuff out the danger.
And we saw everything good about Sissoko there. Power and pace down the left-hand side, and the ball eventually gets out to Winks' right-hand side of the box. He tries to push it around Robertson, who defended it very, very well.
Trippier there seeing the game open up for the first time, really driving into the box. You know, we see that from him a lot when he's really on song. As you said, Sissoko's power, the pace to break it open, and Trippier notices that and drives down the right-hand side of the field and nearly gets himself into a really, really good goal-scoring position.
Robertson playing the ball right across the field, over the halfway line. And Alexander-Arnold now swirls the ball into the penalty area just beyond Salah. Firmino wasn't far away as well. It's Mane actually who reaches the ball and keeps it in on the far side. Mane stabs it into the box. Wijnaldum now back to Firmino on the left-hand side. Tottenham are back in position now. A dangerous ball from the full-backs. Yeah, there's one to the other. Fabinho is going to shoot. It's deflected. Lloris moves quickly to his left and is able to pat it down and has it back in his gloves. 1-0 Liverpool lead. On 5 Live, we will have a 6:06 following the Champions League final, which will be hosted by Steve Crossman and Robbie Savage, and the lines will probably be open. 08085 909 693. I'll let you know when they are. They must be open now, I would have thought. Anyway, I'll let you know. 85058. You can text now, or you can get in touch social media. Hashtag BBC606. Wijnaldum plays the ball over the top now to Salah. Salah in the area. Salah shoots into the chest of Vertonghen, and the ball bounces out of the penalty area. Salah still interested in this. Sissoko. Salah was able to touch it back towards Wijnaldum, and then Henderson to Fabinho. Fabinho now to the left-hand side. Robertson has space here, takes it on, plays it into the edge of the 6-yard box, where Lloris dives forward and makes an excellent catch at the feet of Mane.
Oh, that's outstanding goalkeeping. It really is. That ball from Robertson whipped in across the 6-yard line. Lloris anticipated and clawed it, kept it away from Mane.
Tottenham with the ball on the halfway line. Runners through the middle. Ali making a run, and he's been found and chests it down, and Ali with a chance. It's blocked, bounces out, actually came off the head of Harry Kane. He was stretching for it. Henderson's appealing for it. He thinks that Harry Kane has fouled Matip, who is very strong against Kane.
Tottenham showing signs now, as we said, asking more questions. You know, I know Liverpool just got in a great position. Tottenham now just working the back four all of a sudden of Liverpool.
Tottenham with the ball inside their own half. Here's Eriksen, who plays it all the way back to Tottenham. Just having a little look here whether Liverpool might be thinking about a change. We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner and Origi. Yeah, looks like Origi is going to be coming onto the field. Here's Rose on the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold, that looked like a dive by Rose, I must say. Comes back to Eriksen, ball into the penalty area. That's cleared by Matip. And Danny Rose has stayed down after that challenge. He went down very theatrically.
He did. I do think that there was contact. Rose shapes to whip the ball in left-footed from the touchline, and his leg comes out, Alexander-Arnold's, and he does go down, and he stayed down.
Got to be a foul there. Got to be a foul.
Well, he is still down on the pitch, Danny Rose, and is receiving treatment. So Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. Are you seeing signs of improvement for Tottenham?
Well, they're pushing and they're probing. I mean, in an attacking sense, you know, they had to improve. But Pochettino's a gambler. You know, we know with both managers, they brainwash their players into believing. We've seen it so many times this season. That's why you cannot rule this Spurs team out. They have the talent. This season they've shown they have their belief, and belief in abundance.
Danny Rose back on his feet. One of the 5 Englishmen in the Tottenham starting lineup today in this final between the 2 English clubs. 2 Englishmen and a Scotsman in the Liverpool team. Tottenham, you know, Chris, actually played in the first all-English European final back in 1972 against Wolves. And how many players do you think there were on the field at the start who were from, let's say, Britain or Ireland? Here's Son getting away from Fabinho. Son now takes it on towards the edge of the box. He's going wide. He's being forced wide by Robertson. Still Son turns and plays it into the shins of Robertson and wins a corner to Tottenham.
Yeah, it's a good drive.
More dynamic now. Yeah, more dynamic. You know, the Tottenham body language, the feel of it. They're being more dynamic, more, like you said, risk, but in a calculated way. You know, getting their key players getting turned, running at people, getting better situations. I'd say much more life in the Tottenham side at this moment.
Corner from the right flank. Alderweireld near the penalty spot. Harry Kane just in front of him. Vertonghen behind Alderweireld. And here is the delivery now from the right. Alisson comes, gets a left hook to it. Out to Rose, who drives it in, comes off the legs of Salah and bounces away towards the corner flag, and out for a corner for Spurs from the other side.
I think it's the first thing Alisson has had to do with his hands, and comes and punches. But Spurs just feel there's something in it for them now.
Corner from the left this time. Rose to take this one. It's a deep one towards the back post, and it's headed back across, but comfortably over the top of the crossbar. Alisson was able to just watch it disappear over the top from Vertonghen's header, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool, who lead 1-0.
Yeah, it's an outswinger. Vertonghen beyond the far post. He should just try and help that across. And he gets it wrong, goes over the bar, but Firmino coming off. He has looked leggy.
Yeah, we wondered, didn't we? We wondered, you know, the same question mark of Kane, you know, going into game mode. Chris, you spoke about it yesterday, you spoke about it today, you know, centre forward going into game mode, you're really on that sharp edge, you've really got that inner fitness that it takes to perform anyway, but particularly on nights like these.
But you've got the young man to come on who scored 2 of the goals against Barcelona, which were incidentally his first ever goals in the Champions League, and also scored the winner at Newcastle at the latter end of the Premier League season. So Firmino is off and Origi is on.
Yeah, just when we thought that Liverpool were really stretched, you know, the main men out, Salah missing, Origi stood up on the big occasion.
1-0 Liverpool lead. BBC Radio 5 Live. Got the boxing tonight as well, live from New York during the course of the night. 3 world title fights. Anthony Joshua top of the bill. That'll be around about 3:30.
Henderson again there, you know, Henderson, the ball gets kicked out of the key, drives across to shut the play down very, very quickly, you know. Things that us managers love, you know, fans don't always notice that. Things that us managers love. He anticipates, drives across, endless, tireless work from him.
It's an excellent finish to the season, Jordan Henderson. Here's Alderweireld with the ball at the back. Alderweireld high and over the top. Van Dijk got his head to it above the falling Harry Kane, and he's been able to direct it out to Robertson, but for once Robertson goes for a long pass downfield, which is way beyond Origi and through to Lloris. We've got half an hour to go
in that duel so far. Van Dijk, Kane. Van Dijk is colossal. He's bullying him at present. But he only needs one chance, one half chance. Harry Kane.
Well, it's already been a good day for Van Dijk. Anthony Van Dijk won the derby. Trippier plays it forward towards Son, but it's over his head, and Van Dijk was able to clear it away. Winks in the centre circle. Now Mane for the crossfield volley, headed forward by Henderson. Alderweireld headed it away. Heavy touch from Wijnaldum, and that means Tottenham are back in possession. Urged on by I can see some of them in the stands actually standing and jumping up and down, urging Tottenham forward as we move towards the last half hour of this Champions League final. Winks. Eriksen, back to Harry Winks. Still no immediate sign of the arrival of Lucas Moura, incidentally. Eriksen is able to play it forward to Son. First time touch, Ali back to Son, but that's blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Eriksen's got it back though. He's on his right foot. He shoots from the angle. It hits Van Dijk's ankles and bounces out to the far side. Tottenham still pressing from right to left. Eriksen's low ball across. Dele Alli tried to one of those flicks. He was running at pace. He tried to get it right to Son, but overhit it through for a goal kick.
But you feel it's building some good link-up play in and around the edge of the box. Eriksen just choking on his shot again.
Much more Tottenham-like. You know, the zip in the passing, the energy to the side. Filling, like I said, they often get three around the D of the box, you know, to work in from that area, and then the wide men coming, or the fullbacks coming on from there. They're much more like Tottenham at the moment.
James Milner's going to come on very shortly.
I will say, without being in major trouble, Liverpool, I think they have got to just start finding some passages of play. Just control the game a little bit more in possession. You know, for yet again, teams of this quality, they have real quality. They're not just a counter-attack side, we know that. Just find them passages of play and just absorb the game, not in a defensive way, with the ball.
And the fact that Jurgen Klopp's made the two changes in a very short space of time probably tells you that he's thinking the same thing. Milner still waiting to come on though. Ball in play, but that's strictly the arm of Henderson as he was challenged by Rose, and then Henderson is sort of hurled down by Rose as he was falling anyway. He's off the field, and so while it is out for a throw, it is Wijnaldum who will leave the field, scorer of two of the goals against Barcelona, and Wijnaldum will be replaced by James Milner.
Yep, and he's worked hard. Wijnaldum, such a big player, big goals against Barcelona, but Milner, I think that was the one decision really which Klopp had to make, and he left James Milner out. Gets his opportunity now.
Mauricio Pochettino still yet to make a change, and as I say, as far as I can tell from here, no immediate sign of one being made as Tottenham concede a free kick on the halfway line for a foul on Matip. We are now into the final 30 minutes of this Champions League final, with Liverpool leading by 1-0.
I'm slightly surprised that he hasn't made a change. We know in Ajax half-time, ruthless Llorente came on. I know, you know, they were 3 down at that stage.
He's seen signs though, maybe he's seen signs, he's seen enough signs.
Henderson back to Origi. Origi plays it round one side of Vertonghen, but he won't reach that, and the ball bounces away through for a goal kick. Goal kick to Tottenham. I will tell you when the lines are open, 4606. It won't be long to talk to Robbie Savage and Steve Crossman, who'll also be co-presenting breakfast on 5 Live in the morning from here in Madrid.
He may even, if he really starts thinking about going for it, Chris, I wonder whether he could take Sissoko out of all Winks and then put Ali and Eriksen in there, you know, put Moura coming off a wide position to drive at people, you know, go for a very, very technical, you know, high scoring sort of front unit. I just hope to not get them in transition, obviously.
Rose inside his own half, plays it through the legs of Alexander-Arnold, then Dele Alli's pass forward is beyond the run of Son, and actually as well Van Dijk came across and just dealt with it.
Yeah, he's a machine, different class.
Yeah. PFA Player of the Year, Premier League Player of the Year. Ball bouncing downfield for last year's Man of the Year, Salah, who goes tumbling to the ground. Vertonghen was right there with him. No free kick. The referee was back on the halfway line, but was adamant, and Vertonghen wasn't impressed. Here's Sissoko in the centre circle. Sissoko such a strong man. Fabinho is moving towards him though, so he goes back into his own half. Winks is being put under pressure here by Henderson, and the ball will go all the way back through Alderweireld to goalkeeper Lloris. Liverpool leading 1-0.
Now it's the Liverpool fans with the roar urging their team on. They know what's at stake. They know they're not far away.
Here he comes, Chris. Lucas Moura has suddenly appeared. We can see his number 27 shirt down there as Harry Kane concedes a free kick against Fabinho near the centre circle. So now is the time. Now is the time, with 25 minutes of the final to go. Mauricio Pochettino, he called him a superhero in Amsterdam. He's got his hand around the back of his shoulders. Final instructions, and Lucas Moura moves towards the halfway line. Question is, whose number is going to go up? And it is Harry Winks. It is Harry Winks who will make way from central midfield.
There you go. And there is a roll of the dice. Absolutely all in now. He's going for it.
So who's going where now? Dele Alli drops back into a deeper position.
Probably.
I think Eriksen looks like he's dropping a little bit deeper.
Driving forward. Sissoko playing more like the one who has to do the work in front of the back four, particularly on turnover, of course, mainly in front of the two centre halves, the two full-backs going on. I think they'll try and rotate a little bit. You know, Eriksen, he can do it in there, he can play from there, and he can definitely deliver from there. We know that.
Yeah. That's what they did in Amsterdam, wasn't it, in the latter stages as well, when Eriksen orchestrated everything.
Yeah, getting your technicians out there, getting your technicians in the middle of the pitch, which Tottenham are now beginning to get more bodies in from the middle of the pitch, which they do well when they're really playing well.
Moura got his first touch, but it just bounced off him, and Liverpool have got it back, all in red, in the half 2 hour left. When Moura ran on, he spoke to Kane and he spoke to Son, and currently he's quite central, Moura. But it's Liverpool in possession. Mane now to the right hand side. Alexander-Arnold arrives on the ball and plays it in. Another one of those Alexander-Arnold balls curling at neck height, and Alderweireld stooping, had to head it behind for a corner to Liverpool.
Number Alexander-Arnold, Exocet on the right hand side. His delivery is
yeah, they are. Him and Robinson, their delivery asks questions all the time in the back four. You know, it really puts doubt in the back four's mind.
And this time it is Alexander-Arnold who very precisely places the ball in the quadrant. 4 strides back, plays it into the near post straight at Son, who's able to volley it straight out of play. And it was caught, actually, by one of the substitutes down there, who throws it back to Alexander-Arnold. Less than 25 minutes to go. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. Long throw by Alexander-Arnold. That was a last-ditch stretch by Vertonghen. Otherwise Milner might have been in along the dead ball line, but he did get there, the Belgian, and cleared it out of play. Another Liverpool throw. Alexander-Arnold plays it, and that will just bounce away through for a goal kick. So 1-0, Liverpool lead. The very early goal from the penalty spot by Mohamed Salah. 5 Live and the World Service, BBC London.
So now it's settled down. It looks like Moura coming, just off the pocket behind Kane. Ali this side, Son the other side, still on the right hand side. Sissoko still trying to drive out of midfield, with Eriksen now playing a deeper role when needed.
Moura inside his own half in the centre circle. Trippier's pass forward though just bounces harmlessly out of play from a Liverpool point of view. Sissoko trying to reach it, and Liverpool with the throw halfway inside their own half.
So if you've got the legs up there, which, with particularly if Moura can drive forwards, you get Ali coming off the other side, Son coming off the side, you want Eriksen to get in the quarterback position. You want him to get his head up, and then he can find things, because he can find things. There's no two ways about it. He can find that killer pass.
Mane for Liverpool, who's forced out wide, out towards the right-hand side here by Eriksen, who went with him. But then Mane sets off infield, goes past Eriksen, and then as Dele Alli comes in, gives it to Salah, who teed up Milner, who shot with a left foot from inside the D, was a foot wide of the foot of the post.
And seeing James Milner's face, he thinks he should have scored. Brilliant from Mane. Surging run from left to right, and then he just chops inside Eriksen, who looks like he's towing a caravan. Can't get near him. He feeds the ball into Salah, who lays it back, and Milner, 17 yards out. Lloris isn't stopping that. It goes inches past the left-hand post.
That is the clearest chance of the second half.
Yeah, just tried to feed it. Nice layback from Salah. He tried to feed
Mane
it in
yet again,
post.
Chris, looking a threat, like he does. He's electric when he gets on it. He can turn you, he can drive at you, and he can play. He's a fine player. I mean, a brilliant second half of the season, without doubt.
Long ball over the top for Tottenham. Dele Alli, it bounces back. And here is Harry Kane now, taking the ball to the corner of the penalty area. Out wide, Rose's ball in. Clearance from Matip strikes Milner inside the penalty area. The Tottenham fans are bellowing and pleading for a handball, but absolutely nothing doing. And Tottenham are able to play it all the way back to the other end to Lloris.
Shaky, wasn't it, from Liverpool? Who missed the clearance? Was it Matip?
Yeah.
Look how open they are now. The two midfielders coming off in front of the two centre-halves, almost forming the box in front of the two centre-halves for Tottenham. The two full-backs now driving forwards, filling the middle of the pitch, particularly in an attacking sense, Tottenham now.
Still though, I make it that Alisson has not had a save to make.
No, absolutely spot on. Yeah, they've still got to get in there with quality.
And on the little stats board, I'll come back to that because Spurs play it down the right hand side. Trippier looking good, pulls the ball right across the penalty area. It reaches Rose in the other full back position. Rose chips it across to the back post. Moura couldn't get there. Trippier's got the ball on the right though. Trippier's cross is easily caught by a leaping Alisson on the edge of his 6-yard box.
Well, they get in behind the Liverpool backline. Wonderful pass. And here's Salah.
Alisson has hit a raking ball downfield, long downfield. Salah's caught up with it. Salah plays it across, takes a deflection. Mane, and then Alderweireld, just as Mane took the ball on when he was about to shoot, Alderweireld whacked it out to the far side for a throw.
Well, talk about the game opening up. Within the blink of an eye, Alisson releases Salah. One long ball in behind, gets to the byline, pokes it back, and Mane, bursting into the box, just takes a heavy touch. A better touch, and it would have been an easy finish, end to end now.
Trippier is...
it's like to say, can they capitalise on it? Tottenham have got to ask them questions. That was twice there, full-back to full-back, and then full-back to full-back from Tottenham. They're that high up the pitch now. They're opening up the pitch, but they've got to do that. Then they might get caught, obviously.
With 3 Tottenham players on the ground, or 2 on the ground, Trippier looks as though he might have a problem with his left thigh, possibly. Sissoko was down, so was Rose. We've got a stoppage here, so the water bottles have been produced in these very warm temperatures in Madrid. And Mauricio Pochettino and his medical staff, Perez is down there as well, one of his assistants, are just trying to monitor the situation. I think Trippier has signalled that he's okay. Throw in to Liverpool on the far side. Liverpool still leading by 1-0. Here's Origi on the left-hand side. Substitute Origi, it bounces off him. It's a throw-in to Tottenham. And actually now the statistics show that Alisson, who's not had a save to make, is now the Liverpool player with most passes completed in the match. Ball back to Lloris. Oh, flicked it past Salah. That was so close to actually hitting Salah. It didn't though. He got it away, the Tottenham goalkeeper. 1-0 Liverpool lead. They are less than 20 minutes away now, Liverpool, from a 6th European title. Fabinho playing the ball through the middle.
Trippier is wide open there. I don't know why they're popping it into midfield. He's wide open. They've got to use that. They've got to get Rose on the ball. Trippier's so high now. He's almost playing like an absolute old-fashioned winger.
Lovely flick from Son. Kane gives it back to Son. Son now to Ali. Ali chips it in, but not with enough pace, and it is actually caught quite comfortably by the back-pedalling Alisson in his 6-yard box.
Sissoko's down, but something's going to give eventually in this game. Lovely build-up play. Son and Kane involved, and then Son feeds the ball out to Dele Alli. Is inside the box on the left-hand side, 16 yards out. You can see the idea, extract it, lift it, bend it over Alisson into the far corner. All he does is he loops it up. And do we call that a save?
I was just going to ask you the same question. I think I'll probably call it a catch. Eric Dyer's going to come on, and it looks as though that's it for Sissoko. The Liverpool supporters. It's quite tense this now with just the 1 goal. It's not been the display of flowing football that we hoped for, but when you have a 1-0 match like this, when the stakes are so high, then you know that tension is going to come into it, and that's what we've got now.
I wonder now with Dyer coming on, by the way, I think that'll release Eriksen possibly, if he chooses to do that, release him further forwards. We'll have to wait and see, but it may do.
So another Englishman joins the fray for the All-English final. 1972, by the way, they were all British or Irish, all 22. Ball down the left-hand side for Liverpool. Milner takes it on, but that will be seen behind by Alderweireld. Milner slid in, but it is a goal kick for Tottenham. Urgency now for Spurs. 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes to play. Lines are open now for 606 08085 909 693. Text 85058 or get in touch. Hashtag BBC 606 to talk to Robbie Savage, who will have Steve Crossman alongside him here in Madrid for the phone-in tonight. Here's Danny Rose now, chesting the ball near the halfway line. Henderson with the challenge, but now Dele Alli for Spurs. Lucas Moura plays it across, but that's intercepted by Robertson. Took it away from Trippier, and now Liverpool coming forward. Robertson playing it to Salah. Salah just outside the box, gets it onto his left foot, chips it into the penalty area, headed away by Alderweireld. Origi challenging for it on the edge of the box with Dyer, and it bounces down. And Lucas Moura now to Dele Alli. Ali helps it forward through the middle to Son. Son running at the Liverpool defence, and then in comes Van Dijk with a wonderful challenge. The pace, I thought he'd gone. I thought Son was passing.
Son's driving at him, he gets a great foot in there.
Corner taken quickly by Tottenham. On the left-hand side, here is Kane. Kane goes past Henderson on his left foot, drives it across to the near post. It's blocked. Back to Kane. Kane curls it in towards the back post. No one there for Tottenham. Van Dijk headed it away for Liverpool. Spurs now suddenly have upped the pace and pressure. Ball right across from right to left. Son takes it down, but the referee, I think, has spotted a handball by Son as it bounced up and hit him, and it's a free kick for Liverpool.
Alexander-Arnold switched off, he got lucky. But what about that foot race? Son and Van Dijk.
It's a Rolls Royce for me. It's a Rolls Royce for me, Van Dijk. Absolutely. He's hit the afterburners there, and he drives after Son. And just too powerful, too strong, too quick for a fantastic defender.
You know what? That little moment there, that sums up Van Dijk's season and why he's received the awards that he has. And think back to the game between them in the Premier League when Van Dijk had 2 against 1, Sissoko, the way that he defended that, and Sissoko hit it over the crossbar. 2 pivotal moments in those 2 matches. Van Dijk at the heart of it.
Do you know, I bet, what's his heat, 30-degree heat? I bet he hasn't even broken sweat.
I have. We noticed that early in the play. Robertson sends the ball forward. Lloris comes out. Now here's Trippier on the right. The ball struck long. This is for Dele Alli to chase, but Alisson's there on the edge of the area and takes a catch straight out of the Cricket World Cup. He took it, fingers up, right in front of his neck.
Outstanding at the start position there from Alisson. You know, like, we all know he can make save, but his start position there is fantastic. Watching the play from afar, taking up a high position along the box line, reading the play, clutching out the air without no problem.
That's the way the Aussies catch.
That's the Aussie style, isn't it? Yeah, fingers up. But I don't know about you, Sean. I think they've really changed the game, Ederson and Alisson. You know, we've seen a different type of goalkeeping play from the two.
I think goalkeeping has been morphing for the last probably certainly 5, if not 10 years. You know, the different way that we're looking at goalkeepers now, and they certainly encapsulate both of them.
1-0 to Liverpool. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. We're entering the final stages now. 12 minutes to go plus added time. Tottenham need to find something dramatic. They have done that once or twice this season in the Champions League. Here's Eriksen. Eriksen now to Rose on the left-hand side. Rose, Milner comes across. Lucas Moura comes short, but Rose goes back to Eriksen. Eriksen 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Just flicks it across towards Alderweireld, who actually goes backwards to Lloris. Groans from the 16,000 plus Tottenham fans.
I wonder whether he's got to find a way to get Llorente on. Change the feel. Give you a different view of it. Give you a last little, you know, because playing in front of Liverpool at the moment, a team that have only, 22 goals they conceded in a season in the Premier League, they can do this. They can find, the way of defending out a game. I just wonder whether there's got to be a different question to ask. Although Tottenham are looking way more like themselves, in my opinion.
Kane, high pass from the left out to the right. Trippier's ball in, is headed up and over the top of the crossbar. Dele Alli was under pressure from Matip and could only, under that pressure, head it up and over.
I tell you what a ball this is from Harry Kane. Left-hand side, big switch over Robertson, the Liverpool left-back. Trippier, good first touch, and he lifts it towards the far post. And Alli under pressure And Matip just can't get his neck muscles working and direct it on target.
11 minutes to play. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1, but Spurs are coming on stronger. Son now with Ali, back to Son. Son running directly at the Liverpool defence, but Van Dijk is there again. Turns, plays it up towards Origi in the centre circle. Origi couldn't find the angle pass to Salah. Alderweireld stepped across and plays it back to his goalkeeper. Spurs start again.
It's got to be a little bit careful, Liverpool there. They almost left the 3 up there. You know, they've got to be careful with that. You know, Tottenham are advancing. Now's the time maybe to get them wild players working back, working diligently.
We're taking your calls now. 08085099693 on 5 Live for 606. Here's Son, 30 yards out, shoots. Alisson goes down to his right, got a good sight on it, palmed it away. Tottenham come again. Lucas Moura in the middle. Low shot saved down to his left by Alisson. It was a bit of a toe polka by Lucas Moura. It lacked pace and it was saved.
Yeah, but Spurs aren't Spursy anymore. Well, Son 30 yards out, hammers the shot. You'd expect Alisson to save it. Right hand, strong hand, gets it away from goal, and Moura just not sharp enough. Didn't get the purchase on the shot. He saved well down to his left hand side.
So Liverpool still lead by 1 goal to 0. But Spurs are testing Liverpool now, and here comes Llorente. Llorente is being called forward. He has had the magic touch in the Champions League. Oh, lovely from Son. He nutmegged Fabinho and he shoots left-footed with no power at all, and it just rolls to Alisson, who can pick it up like a back pass. But he's just made now 3 saves in approximately 90 seconds, Alisson.
And fair play to Spurs, really giving it a go, pushing Liverpool back.
Oh, and now Salah has forced Vertonghen at the other end just to make the mistake. It was a back pass to Lloris, but he put too much on it, and it's a corner to Liverpool.
Klopp will love that. Klopp will love that. Just a small mistake like that. Now it just gives him that, you know, couple of minutes, slow it down, calm the game down.
Dele Alli off. Llorente on.
Well, like I said, change the feel of it. You know, it's you're getting towards last knockings now. We know that. Can you change the feel? Can you ask different questions now?
Kicked over the water bottle there, Dele Alli, in frustration. He's had Spurs 2 chances in the second half. One with the chip, the weak chip, and then the header over the top. Liverpool with the corner. Guess what? They're in no hurry to take it. With 8 minutes left of the 90 of this Champions League final, and Liverpool leading by the Salah penalty. Milner has placed the ball outside the quadrant and was going to take the corner, and then had to step forward and replace it. Surely he didn't do that on purpose. Milner with the corner to the near post. That's headed away by Son. Comes out to Salah, chests it down, lifts a ball over the top, but straight to Son, who volleys it into the centre circle. Robertson's underneath that. Henderson is able to get away from 2 men, and then do we call that a shot? He volleyed it goalwards and it went out of place.
Tottenham now much more urgent though. Look at Lloris, get the hand on the, you know, change the tempo of the game, keep changing the tempo, looking much more like Tottenham that we know.
Mauricio Pochettino has peeled off his black jacket and he's rolled up his sleeves. If anything told you about his mood and the way that Tottenham are approaching this now, that is it. 1-0 Liverpool lead, but Tottenham are finishing strongly. And Dyer now to Eriksen.
They've got to keep working the ball wide. They've got to keep doing that and asking questions from crossing positions.
High cross from Trippier. That's headed away by Alexander-Arnold. Ben Milner in with a challenge. The ball's still in the box. Llorente, the referee, just waited to see what was going to happen there, and he's brought it back for the Tottenham free kick after the challenge on him. And I think
it seems check.
He might be consulting VAR here about the nature of that challenge.
That looked very, very close to me. Is he inside the box or outside? No, I think the contact is just. When I say just,
yeah, it's a penalty check, but it was outside of the penalty area. High foot from Milner on Rose.
It's lucky Milner, very, very lucky.
Free kick chance, and we have got less than 7 minutes to play. Deadly from here, isn't he? Eriksen.
It's that shape he needs to get, that shape that we know he can do. Ask questions to get a touch, or it misses everyone and goes in the corner.
You can tell he loves the look of this as well, the way that he's bouncing around on the balls of his feet. in his orange boots.
No, I agree. He'll have hit so many of these in training, practicing the shape, getting the delivery right, getting the pace on it.
It's near the left corner of the box, just in the full-back position. Two-man wall. Salah looking over his shoulder at Alisson. Eriksen waiting, one foot in front of the other. Liverpool leading 1-0 in the Champions League final. Time running out for Tottenham. Eriksen, the blonde-haired Dane, stares at the ball, comes up to it, rips it in, and Alisson diving to his left, pushed it away beyond the far post.
Yeah, great pace on the ball, and Harry Kane, clever. I say clever, cute. He takes a risk. He pushes Robertson over. It's a good save from Alisson. Big hand round the post.
Corner to Tottenham then from the right-hand side. We've got just over 5 minutes to play now. Harry Kane just beyond the penalty spot. Corner being taken from the right flank. Runners to the near post. Here's the delivery, and it's flicked goalwards and then over the top at the back post. What a chance! Son was standing just next to the post, and when it was nodded down to him,
Offside.
the flag was up.
Well, I don't think he knew, Son, he was offside, but what a miss. He didn't know. The ball knocked down into the floor, and he must be 2 yards out, and he heads it over. But the correct call from the assistant.
Lucas Moura with the initial header, and then Son headed it over. He was a yard out, but the offside flag, it would not have stood. And now Liverpool up towards Salah, who tried to turn with the ball, but it just evaded him and ran through the
So
lorries.
it's interesting now, Liverpool are making enforced errors all of a sudden. They're giving it away cheap. They're making things like that when they should be. Usually they contain that situation.
Anxious, nervy moments, and we are now into the last 5 minutes. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1. Liverpool chasing a 6th European Champions Cup or Champions League title. Robertson down the left playing it in, and Rose, not sure of where Salah was, actually just went down and chested it behind for a Liverpool corner.
Do you know what? I think he did the right thing. If you're unsure, take responsibility and put it out. And Robertson, again, his crossing is so good. I think he should have left it Rose. Take no chances.
So it's a corner for Liverpool from the right, and Alderweireld, I see, is actually just off the field on the halfway line. So Tottenham are having to defend this corner without one of their central defenders. Milner's waiting to take it. Tottenham Vertonghen is trying to persuade the referee to allow Alderweireld back onto the field, and he is. I think there was some blood there, and I think he had to change his shirt, and he is being allowed back onto the field, so they will be able to defend the corner with the full complement. Milner with the corner for Liverpool, who lead 1-0. Milner waiting to take this, little false start, then here he comes into the near post. Son got his head to it, Van Dijk swung a leg at it, it was blocked, then a challenge on the edge of the box. Origi, left-footed shot, he scored! Origi makes it 2-0 to Liverpool! What an end to the season for this young Belgian. He has come to the fore for Liverpool when it has really, really mattered. 2 goals against Barcelona. Remember the goal that he scored against Everton. Remember the goal that he scored against Newcastle. Well, now Divock Origi surely has won the Champions League for Liverpool in Madrid. 2-0.
Now, outstanding Origi, super sub Origi, transformed this Liverpool team against Barcelona, and again tonight, what a big player he's been. Spurs don't deal with the corner, Van Dijk has a go, and then the ball's poked out wide to him, and he takes a touch with his right foot, and left-footed hammers the ball across Lloris into the far corner. It's Liverpool's Champions League now, and Origi's the man.
Deadly finish from the angle, 12-13 yards, precision inside the foot of the post. Divock Origi, as Milner is challenged. Rose got the ball as well. Rose swings it in, and it bounces off the chest of Llorente and wide of the near post for a corner, but 2-0. 2-0 with 90 seconds of the 90 minutes left.
And do you know what, haven't we? For the last couple of seasons, it's always been about Liverpool's front three. You know, could they rely on anybody else? What a big game player he's been. Got his chance, he's taken his chance.
And Liverpool are going to make their final substitution of the 90 minutes. It's going to be Joe Gomez coming on to take over from Trent Alexander-Arnold as right back. And now we have Liverpool's celebrations. They are dancing in the stands. It is all red to our right. There is a red smoke bomb being released there, and that red smoke is drifting now towards the roof of the Metropolitano and out into the Spanish night. And Liverpool, actually, it's Sadio Mane who has left the field. So it was going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He came across and received instructions, and Sadio Mane is the player who leaves the field, and Alexander-Arnold has gone forward with Gomez at right back, and now the ball over the top at Salah in an offside position, so it's a free kick on the edge of the box. We have 15 seconds of the 90 minutes to play. Liverpool scored in the second minute, the Salah penalty, and they scored in the 87th. A one right at the start and one very near the end, and 5 minutes of added time will be played, but it's going to be 5 minutes of celebration, unless Tottenham, now we talk about Spurs digging deep, Chris, but this would top the lot if they were able to get themselves out of this hole.
You're going into the world of another miracle now, though, aren't you? You're going into the world of, things just dropping perfect for players, things just maybe mistakes, big. I mean, it's obviously staying there was a massive ask now, but we've seen miracles happen lately. See if we see another.
Well, we saw it with the last kick in Amsterdam.
There's a long one high.
It's not felt like that, though. It's not felt like that, is it? To be fair to Liverpool, they've contained it well. We know they're a threat at set pieces. We know they can make their way without being overly brilliant. But Tottenham have built into the game second half. But you always worry, do they get something from the game? Liverpool, they've found ways of scoring goals all season. They found another way of scoring a goal there from a third phase of a set play.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 2. Lines are open for 6:06. Robbie Savage taking a calls with. Here comes Kane now on the left-hand side. Kane into the penalty area. Challenge comes in from Matip. Kane goes down. Referee ignores it. And it's cleared away.
He's king of the dives there, Kane. He shifts it and he throws himself to the floor. He shouldn't be doing that.
08085 909 693 to talk to Robbie Savage, Steve Crossman with 6:06 here in Madrid. Matip actually under no particular pressure. Ball came across the penalty area, steers it away behind for a corner to Tottenham. Tottenham now, time running out very, very quickly. We're in the second minute of 5 of added time. Liverpool are leading 2-0. Corner from the right. Tottenham pack the penalty area. Here's the delivery in towards the near post, and it's headed away and out for Liverpool. Out towards the left-hand side, Rose does well. He's on his right foot though. He shoots low, but Alisson's able to go down and smother the ball comfortably into his chest.
And Alisson hasn't been overly tested tonight, but what he has had to do, he's done it very well. Smart save down to his right-hand side. Listen to this noise.
It's a Liverpool noise here in Madrid. Tottenham's first Champions League final looks like it's going to end in defeat, but here they come again, and now Son shoots from the angle, and Alisson goes down and scoops it with his left hand wide of the far post.
They don't know when to give up, Spurs. Good shift from Son, left hand side of the box, left footed, arrows a shot going in towards that far corner. It's a good hand from Alisson.
Yet another corner from the right hand side for Tottenham. This one's headed away at the near post by Matip. Comes out for Spurs again. Rose drives it towards the edge of the box. Kane is there. Kane shoots left footed, but this is straight at Alisson, who's now made a series of saves in the latter part of the second half.
So good, isn't he, Harry Kane, at shifting the ball and getting a shot up. Gets good power, but straight into Alisson's midriff.
And the Liverpool goalkeeper is just keeping the ball, and now just delivers it away high downfield. That's beyond Salah. Will bounce all the way through to Lloris. We're in the 4th minute of added time. Just over 90 seconds to play. Tottenham have got to find 2 goals in 90 seconds to take it to extra time. And they won't like this, because Moura is beaten to the ball by Henderson, who clears it out of play on the halfway line. Jordan Henderson who might very soon join the list of Liverpool's European Cup or Champions League winning captains. Lloris, the Tottenham captain, downfield from him, that's headed down and away by Van Dijk. Now Son 25 yards out, slipped the ball through Henderson's legs. Matip is there though and is able to turn and chip it out of play. We are now in the 5th minute of added time. Eric Dyer on the left, right-footed ball to the edge of the box, head height, nodded away by Fabinho. It's one back for Spurs on the halfway line. Vertonghen forward, but that's straight to Fabinho, and Fabinho will just pass it forward to goal scorer Origi, to the other goal scorer Salah, and he's not going to take it towards the corner flag, Salah. I thought he might do. He's going to give it back to Origi, who's going to chip it forward towards Salah, who won't reach that, and it bounces through for a goal kick. And we are into the last 30 seconds now, Chris Sutton.
Yep, and all the Liverpool subs are on their feet.
Yeah, they're all getting ready now.
Jackets on in the technical area.
Yeah.
This is going to end the wait for Liverpool since their last trophy success back in 2012 when Kenny Dalglish's Liverpool won the League Cup. It's been a long, long wait for Jurgen Klopp, who's actually walking across now. And there goes the final whistle as Jurgen Klopp shakes hands with the beaten Mauricio Pochettino, and Liverpool's players, all of them, race onto the field. Some of them can't believe it. It's the Liverpool players who've dropped to the turf. They've won the Champions League. They're European champions for the 6th time. It's been a long wait for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool to find success, but they've got there in the end, and they've got there with the biggest trophy of all. Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool win the Champions League in Madrid 2-0 against Tottenham.
Yep, and Jurgen Klopp conquers Europe, and he said on his arrival to Liverpool 4 years ago he needed a trophy, and his fulfills this promise. He has them with the biggest trophy of them all, the Champions League. And go back a season, go back to Kiev, where they crumbled in Kiev. Klopp didn't allow them to feel sorry for themselves, didn't allow them to feel pity. He threw them out on the pitch this season. 97 points in the league. It wasn't good enough. They picked themselves up again. And I tell you what, in Madrid, famous for his bullfighting, Matador Klopp, he didn't just grab the ball by the horns, he ripped and wrenched the horns off, and he's a champion.
They're the conquistadors.
The biggest difference for me, just bringing a bit of calmness to it, is simply for me, Liverpool this season, they've found ways when they've not been anywhere near as good as they can be to still win games. The tight games, the hard games, the one when it's not quite working for them. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic what they've delivered this season, and deserved tonight overall.
So Liverpool have won it. Tottenham in their first Champions League final, it's defeat. After all of their comebacks, they've fallen at the final hurdle, and they're being consoled by their Liverpool counterparts. The final score here in the 2019 Champions League final: Tottenham 0, Liverpool 2.